Hello everyone, we're already getting close to mid-2026, and honestly, there are a lot of Metroidvania games coming out this year. So in today's video, I've narrowed it down to 15 Metroidvania games that are actually worth buying in 2026. Well, let's get into the list. Sophie Starlight Whispers is a 2D Metroidvania that follows a girl named Sophie on a journey through a magical world, full of mystery, secrets, and self-discovery. One of the best parts of the game is the magic system. You get access to a variety of spells, and you can mix and match them to fit your own playstyle, whether you prefer exploring or going all in during combat. On top of that, there are also plenty of accessories with different effects, so you can really customize your build. Furthermore, the music is another highlight. The soundtrack is emotional and relaxing, making it perfect whether you're playing in the morning or just winding down at night. The Perfect Pencil is a Metroidvania set in a huge hand-drawn world. What makes the gameplay stand out is our character, John's unique abilities. His camera-like head acts as a radar, pinging whenever something nearby can be analyzed. Once you find something, you can scan it and choose how to respond, and those choices actually impact the story as you progress. Now, the world itself is honestly bizarre. You'll face enemies that look like twisted versions of everyday things, men crawling around with strollers or cages on them, and even bosses that are giant bouncing babies trying to crush you. It all feels like a strange, unsettling dream, but at the same time, it's strangely beautiful. A Planet Full of Cats is not your usual Metroidvania game. It blends classic find everything from a simple hidden object gameplay with light Metroidvania exploration. So you're not just clicking around, you're exploring, unlocking new paths, and uncovering secrets. You'll even backtrack with new abilities like X-ray vision to spot hidden cats, for example. It kind of feels like searching in the dark with a flashlight. That small addition gives the game a nice Metroidvania flavor. The overall vibe of the game is super chill. It has autosaves, no time limits, and no punishment for using hints. There's no pressure. Overall, it's the kind of game you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy at your own pace. Derelict Star feels like a true passion project, and that's a really good thing. Even without heavy storytelling, you can feel the personality of the developer in every part of the game. From the humor to the little Easter eggs, everything feels very personal and handcrafted. But what really stands out is the gameplay. This game is all about momentum-based movement. Think of that classic platformer style where the faster you run, the higher you jump. Your speed matters a lot here, and movement has real weight. You can't just stop or turn instantly. You need time to build up speed, and that's where the challenge comes in. Raider Kid and the Ruby Chest is a small Microvania packed with retro charm. Now, since this is a Microvania, this is a short game. You can finish it in around 2 hours, maybe a bit longer if you get stuck. Even though it's short, there's still a good amount of upgrades to unlock, which makes exploration feel rewarding. The presentation is also really strong, the music is super charming, and overall the game just looks and sounds great. It really nails that retro vibe. That said, if you compare it to full-length Metroidvania games, those still offer a much bigger experience overall. But for what it is, a short, focused, and charming adventure, Raider Kid and the Ruby Chest is absolutely worth playing. Little Nemo Guardians of Slumberland is a cute Metroidvania that will take you back straight to your childhood. Right from the start, the presentation pulls you in. The world is colorful, bright, and full of storybook charm. Even the enemies, some of them a bit creepy, still feel friendly in a weird way. The whole game has this warm, dreamy vibe, like a perfect Saturday morning cartoon. But don't let the cute look fool you. This is actually a pretty skill-based platformer. It's a side-scroller with exploration, light combat, and upgrades that unlock new areas. And as you get stronger, the game gets harder too. Some sections can be surprisingly challenging, especially later on. So while casual players can enjoy the early parts, the tougher challenges might really test your skills. Tombwater is a top-down pixel art Soulsvania that blends dark, eldritch horror with a Wild West setting. Think creepy, mysterious vibes, but with guns, deserts, and outlaws. One of the coolest mechanics here is how combat works. Your bullets don't just come for free, you actually charge them by fighting in melee, so the game pushes you to mix close combat and ranged attacks instead of just staying at a distance. The game also gives you a lot of freedom in how you play. There are tons of weapons, guns, explosives, and even spells. Each one supports a different playstyle, whether you like aggressive combat or something more strategic. Valkyrie Saga is a 3D Metroidvania that feels like finding a lost PS1 game, but in the best way possible. It perfectly captures that late 90s vibe with its retro visuals and soundtrack, but at the same time, it still plays smooth and modern. No clunky feeling here. The main goal of the game is simple. Start at the bottom of a massive floating world and make your way to the top. But the game barely guides you. You can talk to NPCs, do small quests, explore wherever you want, or just rush straight to the top. It's completely up to you, and that freedom makes the game feel really relaxing. Combine that with great atmosphere and smooth movement, and you get a game that's just really satisfying to play. Ariana and the Elder Codex is a Metroidvania centered around magic and ancient libraries. The library serves as your main hub. From there, you dive into different worlds hidden inside each codex. In every level, your goal is to repair tears in the world, usually by defeating enemies to reveal them. Clear the level, take down the boss, and the codex is restored. Visually, the game really stands out. It features a colorful, anime-inspired art style with beautifully designed environments. Each codex world feels unique and full of personality, making exploration rewarding. The soundtrack also does a great job, supporting both emotional moments and intense encounters. Tearscape is a charming indie game made by a solo developer, and you can really feel the passion behind it. It blends ideas from Zelda, Dark Souls, and Metroidvania games into one unique adventure. The game's combat is slow and deliberate, more like Dark Souls than fast-paced action. Enemies clearly telegraph their moves, so success comes down to patience and good timing. Where the game truly shines is in its exploration and visuals. It uses a nostalgic Game Boy Color style look, inspired by classic Zelda games, but with a darker, more Souls-like tone. The game also keeps a good pace. It never feels too long. And as you progress, the boss fights get more interesting, often pushing you to use new gadgets in smart, creative ways, just like old-school Zelda design. Fallen Tier. The Ascension is a Metroidvania and JRPG, and it mixes the two styles really well. On one side, you've got Metroidvania exploration, like Hollow Knight. On the other, you've got JRPG elements with story, characters, and party building. One of the coolest features here is the Fated Bond system. You can recruit over 16 companions, mages, fighters, healers, and they're not just for combat. They actually change how you explore the world and unlock new paths. Unfortunately, right now, the game is in early access. It has about 35% of the full story, around 15 to 20 hours of gameplay, with multiple regions, bosses, and allies already available. Don't worry though, the full version is planned for late 2026, with more content and multiple endings. Kotama and the Academy Citadel is an anime-style Metroidvania packed with charming characters and a light, colorful vibe. Where the game really stands out is its combat. You can equip up to 3 weapons, 2 of them optional, and switch between them on the fly. Enemies also build up something called Chrono Fluid, and once it's stacked, a heavy attack will trigger a big explosion, dealing massive damage and even restoring a bit of your health. Furthermore, exploration is also a big part of the experience. If you stick to the main path, you can finish the game fairly quickly. But the real fun comes from going off the beaten path, taking on side quests, and hunting for collectibles. The map isn't huge, but it's packed with hidden rooms and secrets that make exploring feel constantly rewarding. Solateria is a magical Metroidvania with beautiful hand-drawn visuals and a world that really pulls you in. And as someone who loves this genre, this game instantly caught my attention. The core gameplay is exactly what you'd expect, but done really well. You explore different areas, fight enemies, collect items, and take down bosses to unlock new zones. There's also some platforming, but the main focus is exploration and combat. The game's combat is heavily focused on parrying. Almost every enemy and boss can be parried, and if you time it right, you can open them up for big damage. It feels smooth, satisfying, and rewards good timing. The game isn't brutally hard, but it still offers a solid challenge. Plus, there are multiple difficulty options, so you can adjust it to your liking. Sequels are always tricky. You want something familiar, but also something new. And GRIME 2 tries to do exactly that, improving the original while bringing in more players who might have missed it the first time. Now with GRIME 2, the first thing you'll notice is the visuals. Instead of the old organic body-like world, this game leans into an artistic theme. Everything feels like it's made of paint, sculptures, and broken art pieces. Now let's talk about combat, because this is where the game really improves. The first game relied heavily on parrying. In GRIME 2, parrying is still strong, but now you have more options. Different weapons, special attacks, and a brand new system called molds. Molds are like small summons you get from enemies. You can use them in battle to help attack or distract enemies. They're not super powerful, but they're really useful, especially in tough fights. Neo Memories in Orbit can be summed up in 3 words: beautiful, engaging, and challenging. The game's world itself is huge. You start in the center called Nexus, and from there you can explore different areas like gardens, cities, deep vaults, and even higher zones above. But getting around isn't easy. The platforming is tough and very unforgiving. You'll unlock new movement abilities over time, and the game expects you to use all of them together with precise timing. The combat, on the other hand, is simple but deep. At first, you only have basic attacks and a dodge, but as you play, you start to learn enemy patterns and fights become more strategic. And of course, the game's main highlight is its visual. Everything is hand-drawn, and just looking at it feels like pure art. That's all for today's list. Subscribe and like for more new exciting Metroidvania games. That's it, and see you next time.